Someone is now paying a heavy price for what they did to you. Someone is finally paying for what they did. You stayed silent before, but truth stayed watching. You felt everything breaking while they kept laughing. You cried alone nightly. They never even noticed. You begged for answers. They gave you silence. You offered them loyalty. They returned only betrayal. You trusted them deeply. They used it freely. You gave your heart. They tore it apart. Now everything is different. Now tables have turned. Now silence speaks louder. Now truth is burning. They thought you'd break. They thought you'd disappear. They thought you'd beg. They never understood you. You walked through darkness, carrying invisible pain daily, smiling in front people, dying behind closed doors. Nobody heard your screams. Nobody saw your tears. Nobody felt your pain. Nobody stood beside you. But something changed quietly. Something shifted inside you. Pain turned into strength. Silence became your power. You stopped chasing them. You stopped explaining yourself. You stopped expecting love. You started choosing yourself, and that scared them. Your silence scared them. Your growth shocked them. Your absence hurt them. Now they feel everything. Now they understand loss. Now they taste loneliness. Now they face consequences. Because karma never forgets. Because pain always returns. Because truth finds paths. Because justice always arrives. They remember your kindness. They remember your patience. They remember your loyalty. They remember your love. But now it's late. Now doors are closed. Now hearts are distant. Now you are gone. They try reaching back. They try fixing things. They try explaining themselves. They try rewriting stories. But you already healed. But you already moved. But you already changed. But you already grew. You learned your worth. You found your strength. You reclaimed your peace. You protected your soul. No more begging anymore. No more chasing anymore. No more crying anymore. No more breaking anymore. You became stronger silently. You became fearless slowly. You became wiser painfully. You became unstoppable completely. Now they watch you. Now they regret everything. Now they feel emptiness. Now they miss you. But you don't respond. But you don't look back. But you don't care. But you don't break. Because you remember nights. Because you remember pain. Because you remember betrayal. Because you remember everything. You forgave them silently, but never forgot anything. You healed your wounds, but kept your lessons. Now they carry guilt. Now they carry regret. Now they carry pain. Now they carry consequences. You didn't seek revenge. Life handled everything perfectly. Time revealed their truth. Karma balanced everything. You simply walked away. You simply chose peace. You simply saved yourself. You simply grew stronger. And that is power. And that is healing. And that is justice. and that is closure. They underestimated your silence. They misunderstood your kindness. They ignored your pain. They lost someone real. Now they are searching. Now they are remembering. Now they are regretting. Now they are alone. But you moved forward. But you found happiness. But you found yourself. But you found peace. And that is everything. And that is enough. And that is victory. And that is your story. If you want, I can. You thought story ended, but truth just started. What you see now is only surface pain. They smile in public, but break in silence. They act unbothered daily, but cry every night because they remember everything, because guilt never sleeps, because conscience keeps whispering, because truth keeps returning. Every lie they told now echoes inside them. Every tear you cried now haunts their nights. They replay your memories. They revisit your kindness. They relive your patience. They regret their choices. But regret is useless. But timing already passed. But damage is permanent. But you already changed. You were never weak. You were just loyal. You were never foolish. You were just genuine. And they knew that. And they used that. And they broke that. And they lost that. Now they feel empty. Now they feel broken. Now they feel abandoned. Now they feel alone. Exactly like you. Exactly how you felt. Exactly what you endured. Exactly what you survived. Life mirrors everything. Life returns all actions. Life balances all debts. Life teaches harsh lessons. They once ignored you. Now nobody hears them. They once hurt you. Now pain surrounds them. They once laughed loudly. Now silence follows them. They once felt powerful. Now weakness controls them. And you watch quietly. And you stay distant. And you feel nothing. And you owe nothing. Because healing changed you. Because pain rebuilt you. Because silence strengthened you. Because loss awakened you. You don't seek revenge. You don't chase closure. You don't need answers. You don't look back because you understand now. Because you see clearly. Because you learned everything. Because you grew beyond. And growth scares people. And silence confuses people. And distance hurts people. And strength intimidates people, especially those people who once controlled you, who once broke you, who once underestimated you. Now they question everything. Now they doubt themselves. Now they feel insecure. Now they feel lost because you are not reachable, because you are not emotional, because you are not available, because you are not theirs. And that hurts deeply, and that burns slowly, and that breaks silently, and that destroys completely. You became their lesson, you became their regret, you became their memory, you became their loss, and they became nothing, and they became distant, and they became forgotten, and they became history. You didn't plan Raven,